All right. Okay, I'm feeling my way up now. Whoever put the end on me, come and share my blessings. Whoever put the end on me, come and share my blessings. Koridaru life. Okay, so it's 1 minute to the time that I'm supposed to come. Sorry, 10 minutes. Rather, 10 minutes to the time that I'm supposed to be live. It's moving over me, it's taking over me, and I am feeling. Hey, I'm feeling my way up now. And I am feeling my way up now. All right. Today we are going to be treating 5 things. 5 things. Okay. 5 things. 5 reasons why parents need to know that every child has a desire to. Why parents need to know that every child has a desire. We're going to be looking at 5 reasons why that is so. 5 reasons why that is so. 5 reasons why that's so. Please, we'll be back on, please. Okay.
All white cap town like the stripe on a tongue. See how we got famous where we come from. When lions from teaspoons to lumps.
Yeah, where a conundrum.
All I did was make lines like when ABC bus comes. Now they say you try to caution. You attract the wrong people when they know about your fortune. I'm worried maybe that'll be my portion. My experience about the things that I do wrong. I just pat them on the back like a newborn. Cause that's the one start to spread like the bed sheet. I really Excel spreadsheet. I'm too blessed to be stressed, so I'm giving up some love. Cause I'm getting it in excess. Now that you can respect me.
Hey, I'm feeling my way up now.
Whenever puts a hand on me, share my blessings. Whenever puts a hand on me,
come and share my blessings.
Whenever puts a hand on me.
Like I said, 5 reasons parents need to know that every child has a desire to. Yeah. So we'll be looking at that.
Let me give you advice. Keep your loved ones close because they won't live twice. You should have told her how I felt, but I couldn't be precise.
Yep. We'll be doing that. Okay. So I just have to come up too early before it starts by 10. Before everything starts by 10. And I'm sincerely excited about this. Yep. I'm feeling my way up now. Whoever put the hands on me, come and share my blessings. Whenever put the hands on me, come and share my blessings. Once I'm fair. All right, we'll be starting by 10. Just trying to warm up with good music. I actually heard this song in 2012. It was like a big jam that year. Inspires, inspires actually. It inspires me every time I listen to it. It's taking over me, and I am feeling my way up now. All right, and I'm charged up. I'm charged up. I have been waiting for this day since I posted about it. I'm sincerely excited that I'll be talking about something of interest to me, of huge interest to me. And I would really appreciate, please, if you're watching this, please help comment in the section and drop a comment in the comment section with wherever you're watching from, with an emoji or whatsoever. Please, please, I would sincerely appreciate. Thank you, Olamide. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's 4 minutes, 4 minutes to 10, 4 minutes to 10, 4 minutes to 10, and we're going to be starting very soon. I just keep the music going for now. All I did was make guys like when ABC bus clubs. Now they singing tracks off people caution. You attract the wrong people when they know about your fortune. I'm probably thinking that'll be my portion. I don't need a new person. So I'm left with it. My experience is just about the way I made it. So when they talk about the things that I do wrong, I just fall them in the box like a newborn. Cause that's the rumor starting to spread like the bed sheet of calculating money on Excel spreadsheet. I'm too blessed to be stressed, so I'm giving up some love cause I'm getting it in excess now that it's moving over me, it's taking over me. Like I said, so what we're going to be talking about is 5 reasons why parents, we need to know that every child has a desire to. Reasons why parents need to know that every child has a desire to. That's what we'll be looking at this morning. This morning, that's what we'll be looking at. 5 reasons. 5 reasons. Of course, there are so many reasons why parents need to know. But just for today, I'll be dropping just 5 reasons why parents need to know that their child also has a desire and they should not be relegated. You know, that's the irony of life. For that year, I cried twice. Let me give you an advice. Because they won't live twice. But I couldn't be precise. I couldn't reply emails. You know, this part of the song even makes me feel that parents need to know that the moment they have with their children or their kids or whatever is just for a very short time, 18 years, 19 years, that they really have to connect with their kids. And after then, they might not really have that moment again. So they should enjoy the moment while it lasts. It is what is it called? It's important. It's important. It's important for parents to know that it's important to appreciate the 18 months and not just take it for granted, because some of the kids that I've spoken to recently just don't like their parents, and it's heartbreaking that such thing happens. I would have a mom, I would have a dad, and I just don't like the person. So it's very, very important for parents to take this into consideration. Okay, we're going to be starting very soon, and I'll just put down my music. Let it shine. It's moving. It's almost 10, just few seconds to 10. Once it's 10, we start. I'm thinking right now. Thank you, Past Covenant. Thank you very much, Past Covenant Abakaliki. Thank you. I'm grateful. Olamide, Lagos. Thank you. All right. It's almost 10. 5 reasons why parents need to know that every child has a desire to. Every child has a desire to. Every parent needs to know this. It's 10. All right. All right. Now I've put out my music. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to anyone around the world that they are now in the afternoon time, and good evening to everyone that are in the evening time. So whatsoever time zone that you are at the moment, um, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to whatever time zone it is. So today, um, it's it's the beginning of Tuesday, Tuesday, and the personal fixing personal development issues with Joseph Adeleke. I've been doing this for a while, but I paused, and now I am starting all over again with focus on teens related issues. So I'll really, really appreciate it if you come across this video. Please do share, please do like, please do comment, please do react. It just keeps the energy up, and I would sincerely appreciate it. So the topic of today, like I've been repeating it over and over again while the music was on, is 5 reasons why parents need to know that every child has a desire to. Parents need to know that every child has a desire to. So because you're an adult, it does not mean that a kid does not really have a desire. The desire can be so silly, but it's actually a desire. And they want to, more like we have a goal, more like we have an aspiration. They also have that goal, they have that aspiration, they have that thing that they are nurturing within themselves, and they want to just get it on. And it's very, very important for parents to pay attention to things like this. So 5 reasons why parents need to know that every child has a desire to. The first is know that, like you have a desire for your child, for your kid, your teenage child also has a desire for herself. Let your child explore that. You know, know, let me just repeat that. Know that just like you have a desire for your kids, you want something for them, your teenage child also has a desire for his or herself. So just give them the privilege of exploring that. So one thing I've learned over time now is that parents don't give their kids opportunity to explore whatever thing they desire to do. Of course, and there needs to be a check on whatever thing your kid wants to get involved in, but you also need to pay attention to your kid's need and find a way to help such kid um, achieve those wants, those aspiration he or she has set for himself or herself. And it's very, very important. I was talking to a teenager recently, and she was not happy. Apparently, she wanted something that she feels that her father needs to get for her. It's it felt so trivial while talking to her, but it was so important to her. And her dad also has something very important to do for her, which is more about her life, making sure that she becomes who he wants, or who he feels that she should become when she grows up. But she is more of having a desire for the present, something that she's interested in working towards, like getting a shoe, a bag, a new dress or a new gown or whatsoever. And it looks so trivial, but it's so important because it broke her heart when her father chose not to put those things first. So I believe parents need to put this into consideration, that every child, just like you have a desire, every child also has a desire, every child has a want, every child has this thing that they want to achieve, they want to get. It could look so trivial, like I said, but it's very, very important, and you need to pay attention to those things because um, as little as they are, they can separate, they can build a bridge between the kind of relationship that you have with your child and yourself or your spouse or whatsoever. And the second thing is your opinion about your child career is not superior. And I know that this would not sound right. And your opinion about your child career is not superior if you don't hear them out. Someone outside will do that for you. So many times we assume that it is what we want our child to do that that child must do. And usually like I said in the previous point, every child has a desire and you need to allow them to explore it. So if you think that your opinion, you want your child to become a doctor and the person needs to be in science class and the person is groomed for art class. I met I've been speaking to many kids recently, and there's a particular young girl that I was talking to, and she was crying. I immediate elder brother actually directed her to me that she should speak to me, and she was crying because her father wants her to be in what is it called? Her father wants her to be in science class, or worst case scenario, commercial class. It is assumed that those people that are in art class are dull or they don't know anything. So her father wants her to be in science class and art class and or commercial class. And she's so much interested. She's more passionate about being in what is it called, art class. She has a desire to become an actress or something, and she was crying that she wanted to do this thing. Her father does not want her to do it, and to make matters worse is that her father told her that if she chooses to be in art class, then she will stop education. Like he will stop sending her to school, stop paying her school fees and all those kind of things. Of course, she cannot do anything; she has to obey him. But it would be a waste if a parent spends so much money in sending his or her child to art class or commercial or science class when the person has a desire for something else. And at the end of the day, after the person has been sent through primary, secondary, university, and everything has been done for the person that hands the certificate, or the child that hands the certificate to you, that you should do whatever thing you want to do with the certificate. It does not make any sense anymore. So it is important first for parents to put that into that the child will hello, hello. Okay, please, if you can still see me, like my internet just messed up now. Please, if you can see me, please just make a comment so that I can know about that. So like I was saying, if you want your child to do something, you just need to communicate to the child. If the child feels that this is what he or she desires to do, then you just need to guide the person. Of course, you are the one with the experience, but the child is the one that is actually working the process at the moment. So you just need to use your experience to help this child navigate through. So like I said in the point, your opinion about your child career is not superior. If you don't hear them out, someone else will. That's true. That's true. So if you choose not to hear your child out, somebody else will. They will contact somebody else and they will say their mind to the person. They will speak their mind to the person, and it becomes hard that way. It becomes hard that way for you to make sense of all these things. It becomes hard for you to understand your child if your child now speaks to somebody else. It is heartbreaking after giving birth to a child, and the child now starts becoming distant to you, or there's a form of gap between your relationship. So it does not make any sense. So to build more relationship, to build, to work more on your relationship with your child, you need to actually understand where the child is coming from, so that you can just act like a support system, just guide the child. We usually think that we know it all. That's the truth. As a parent, we usually think that we know it all as a parent. But the truth is this child that is experiencing the thing at the moment or whatsoever thing at the moment. So we just need to act as a guidance to that child. So the third thing I have on my list is observe your child's interest and desire. Ask them what they like to become and make the necessary contribution in making such desire possible. So you need to observe. You need to observe what your child interest and desire is. So I watched a video not too long ago, I think like about 20 minutes or 30 minutes ago on Facebook, where this particular boy of is Steve Harvey's post. It's on one of Steve Harvey's posts. They invite small children about 4 or 5 to share one of their skills or whatever creative ability that they have. And this particular boy, I think he's 4 or 5 or so, he was playing the grand piano, and he was playing it so well, like so well, like he has been learning for years. And when Steve Harvey has asked him that how many years has he been practicing for, he said he has been practicing for 3 months. That's just a small boy, and he had to be on Steve Harvey's show. For him to be on Steve Harvey's show is a big deal. Please, it's a big deal. So observe your child interest and desire. Ask them what they would like to become and make the necessary contribution. So if that boy did not have his parents buy a piano for him at that age, he most likely was like about 3 or 4 years old when his parents would have gotten him a piano. Do you understand? So if his parents did not know that there's a form of interest in piano playing in this young boy, he wouldn't have been on Steve Harvey's show today. So I just feel that it's important for parents to know what their kids actually like. Sometimes you might think they like this while they like that. So you might need to ask. So it's important to questioning is very good. You need to have the skill of asking the right question. I think that's the word. So you have to have the skill of asking the right question. So ask the right question from your kids, what they like, what they would love to do, so that you can actually help them navigate through. It might be quite difficult, but it is what it is. It is what can help you build a cordial relationship with them. And the fourth thing I have on my list here is your teenage child is your responsibility, and you have every obligation to him or her. Unfortunately, they don't have any obligation to you. I posted about this some weeks ago, I think last month or so, and I had some parents on my Facebook page made comments about why that is wrong. You need to understand that as a child, it is expected for the child to take care of the parent. Yes, it is expected, but it is important for every parent to know that it is their responsibility to take care of their child. But it is actually not necessarily the responsibility of the child to take care of the parent. It is a blessing biblically and culturally, it's expected, but it is not as if it is by force. You have to allow the child to learn to do that. You have to allow the child to be able to know how to do that. It's not something that one just get to do. You don't force a child, because when you start forcing a child that it's your responsibility to take care of me, then you are putting that child in a very, very odd spot, and you just don't want to put that child there. You've given birth to this child. You are responsible for the child, for the child's school, for the child's food, for the accommodation, everything that the child need. You are responsible for that. Now, you have to be responsible for yourself, to know how you want to take care of yourself. Now, if this child grows up and take care of you, it's now this child's choice. So you need to understand this and don't force your child to do what he or she does not plan to do. Please don't force a child to do what he or she does not plan to do. Is this too much expectation on a child that makes a child misbehave, makes a child do what he or she is not expected to do. And finally, so understand the era as a teenage child, understand your era as a teenage child is totally different from that of your child. What worked for you in your time will most likely not work in your child interest at this moment. That's the truth. So some parents just assume that don't worry, I've been in your position before. This is how it is done. This is how I did it. This is sometimes those things that we feel that we know, that we experience, those things that we feel that we've been able to get going, or we've been able to achieve somehow, um, is because of our super experience. Now we are trying to force our experience on a child that is born in this Gen Z age or whatever. Do you understand? There's so many things. Like I was listening to what's this name of this Wendy Olege. So I was listening to her one time, and she was saying that so the kind of pressure that we face in our time is that kind of pressure where it is physical. Do you understand? If you are feeling sexual exploitation, or you are feeling sexually harassed, you are feeling pressure in terms of your body or how you look or whatsoever thing it is, then it's usually physical during our time. And now it seems as if every kind of bully, every kind of sexual harassment, and every kind of whatever thing you can think of happens online. Do you understand? Everything happens online, and it is the same in terms of what of the situation, not how the person is experiencing it. In terms of the situation, it's the same. Do you understand? It is still sexual harassment. It's still body shaming, or whatever thing you want to call the word. Do you understand? So it is still those things. But the problem is it is different. It's a different environment. While ours happen physically, theirs is online. Then many people have committed suicide because of whatever thing they faced online. Many people have done so many things because of one thing or the other that happened to them online. So the age where we are is so different from the age where these kids are, and one need to understand all these things. If you actually want to work well with your child, you need to understand all these things. Make sure that um, you get it right with your child. The essence of this weekly broadcast that is going to be coming up every Wednesday is to help parents, help a teenager, help anyone that is going to be watching this have useful tips on how you can help a child become better. So I'll go back to everything I've read before, and the first point I gave was to know that just like you have a desire, your child also has one desire. The second point is what your opinion about your child career is not superior. Do you understand? So your child's opinion also matter. While the third thing I gave was observe your child's interest and desire. Ask them what they want. Ask them what they actually would like to do with their life or whatsoever thing. You don't expect to put your dreams on a child's lap. If the child is not interested, please don't drag that child into that kind of thing. So so your child is your responsibility. Do you understand? And they are not obligated to serving you or fending for you. That's the fourth point. So you need to understand this also, as it is important for you to know that what is it called? As important for you to know that you want your child to take care of you. I think you just need to find a way to help them to see how morally it is right, but don't force them to do what they don't want to do. So finally understand that the era, your era as a child, as a teenage child, is totally different from the era that they are at the moment. So just understand this, understand that you're not in the same environment, you're not in the same space, you're not in the same level of thinking. So you need to find a way to come to their level, know how they are thinking, know what they are facing, and guide them. Use your own experience to guide them, but don't force your experience on them because it won't work. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. So I would end it here, and next week I'll come up again. Before the end of this week, I will drop whatsoever thing we're gonna be talking about next week, and I will really what's it called appreciate. I really appreciate if you join next week again. Thank you very much. Remember that I'm interested in seeing you become a better person while I work on me too. Till I come your way next week again. Thank you very much, and I see Olamide, thank you very much. Magdalene, thank you. Covenant, thank you very much for following and commenting and reacting. I'm so grateful. Till we see you again next week. God bless. Bye. Okay, I think I should go back to my music, right? Thank you.